Hello. Now we are going on a journey of vistas. Yes, the supplementary reader with all the good stories for us to learn and read and enjoy and cherish. The first chapter is The Third Level, written by Jack Finney. He is a person who is known to write scientific fictions, and this is by far arguably one of the shortest science fiction story on time travel. Yes, this particular chapter talks about time travel, and there are some themes in this chapter that we'll discover as we go into the chapter. The protagonist of the story is Charlie, who escapes into the third level, which takes him to the 19th century, to be precise, on 11th June 1894. Let's have some background about Charlie. Charlie is in his early 30s and he is in his work. He has a family, he has a wife, everything is there, but still is not happy so much. And at times he looks to get away out of all these things. These thoughts keep coming to his mind and he does go into different kinds of thoughts. Now today, on this particular day, he is returning to his home and he takes subway. He decides to take a subway to go home. Now, this particular subway is having two levels. The second level is the subway to the suburbs. Charlie, while he is moving in his thoughts, invariably enters through an arc and gets into a third level. Prior to this also, many times he has got into different places in his thoughts while traveling, commuting through the subway. But this time, he enters into the third level, which takes him to the world of 19th century. He's surprised to see the things over there. There is less crowd. The wooden windows where the tickets are sold, not many people over there. The gas lights, the open gas lights are unlike the real ones that right now we are having. The people are wearing the clothes of the olden era, and there are brass spittoons which used to be there in those times. He has a glance at a newspaper and then of the newspaper named The World of the edition of 11th June 1894. And he imagines and he finds out that he has actually moved into 19th century and he likes the place. He decides to go to Galesburg, his native place, and stay there and enjoy his life. He goes to the ticket counter to buy two tickets, one for himself and one for his wife, Louisa. The counter person looks at the money, looks at him with doubt, and thinks what kind of a person he is. In fact, the counter person thinks of getting him arrested also because he was tendering some money which was not existing. Charlie realizes this, that the currency at that time and the currency of this time are different. He somehow manages to come out from there and comes back to the real world that we know today. He shares these things with his wife, who advises him to focus on the realities of the day rather than living in those kind of thoughts. She considers him to be an escapist who runs away from his responsibilities. There are so many things happening around him and he is not okay with that. And that's why these kind of thoughts keep visiting him. He thinks of visiting Sam, the psychiatrist friend of his, and he narrates everything to him. Sam also tells him that it might be your escapist theory. And then, once he was going through his first day letters and of his grandfather, and there he finds a letter from Sam addressed for Charlie, and the address says of Galesburg. Charlie opens up the letter where he finds Sam has written, "Come down to third level, come down to Galesburg. It's a nice place." Charlie wonders what is this. He looks at the date that is of 1894 again, July 1894. And he decides to convert his currency to the olden age. He goes to the shop where the currency is exchanged. He gives $300 and in return he gets 200. But he doesn't mind it. Why? Because at that time the things were cheaper. So he would be having gala time with his $200 also. And he tries to search for the third level but he never gets. Suddenly he realizes about Sam because he had not seen him since long. So when he tries to find out, he is not available and that letter was there. So he visits the shop for the money transfer and there he comes to know that Sam had actually exchanged $800 and now he has got those money of those era and then he is there in Galesburg living happily. Basically, this is the story of the third level where Jack Finney takes us to the time travel with the theme of escaping from the responsibilities. We are into too many things today and at times it becomes difficult to manage everything, and that's where the idea of escapism arrives. And then we start thinking which is not actually real. And that's where all sorts of things happen. Thank you.